Hey guys, welcome back to the B.Y.O Show. You're with Jordan
And Ryan.
and today we've got quite a bit to talk about. It's been a big week,
Very big week.
let's jump into it.
Let's do it. Hey everyone, hey Geordie. As always, I have compiled a list of things that happened throughout the week that I thought we could potentially chat about today. Obviously, the big thing that everyone's like losing their minds over, Robert Pattinson Batman. You heard it from us first, January 31st on Instagram. We first posted about that, but I just thought that's something we'll come back to. I'll run through this list. If there's anything there in particular that isn't specifically RBATs for us to talk about, you can jump out and let us know. So obviously, Rob Pattinson Batman. We got confirmation of a John Wick 4 and a date, which is ridiculous. We got PlayStation announcing that they're starting a film and television sector named PlayStation Productions, which is quite strange. We finally got some information on the James Wan Mortal Kombat movie that's been coming forever. We got some familiar faces returning to the MCU, I guess, for the the Falcon and Winter Soldier production that's coming to Disney Plus. And we finally got some information on Rick and Morty Season 4. Anything there in particular, Batman, that pops out to you that you really want to talk about? Batman.
Well, I think you really want to talk about Batman.
Let's do it! I've been waiting to talk to... So everyone sort of in the sort of pop culture sphere, I think just the world in general sort of now knows, Matt Reeves, Warner Brothers, DC have made a decision that they're going to move forward with Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne Batman for The Batman in June 2021. That's information that I had been privy to. I didn't know 100% that it was confirmed, but way back, and it was actually quite early in January, I'd heard that this was a potential thing that was going to happen. I'd mentioned it to a couple of industry mates, and I'd mentioned it to you. That it seemed like he was very, very, very high on their priority list, was trying to cast someone of his calibre, get off the Twilight hate train. He's a much better actor than he was ever able to show in Twilight. Go and check out Good Time, Rover, High Life, all these other like amazing fucking movies that he's been in.
Yeah.
And they finally pulled the trigger. Not 100% yet. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of misreporting. Variety sort of jumped the gun. We don't know 100% that he's signed a deal. We just know that he is their pick and that they're in negotiations right now. Nicholas Holt's there as a secondary, but on big projects like this, especially when information like that gets out there, it's usually pretty close to a done deal. So, so Robert Pattinson, Batman, we'll talk about that. I also wanted to let people know, because there's a lot of people coming over from Instagram that want to know what else I had heard in that initial conversation that I had with the people that I got the information from. Robert Pattinson wasn't the only name that got brought up pertaining to what this project will be. They also brought... Robert Pattinson obviously got brought to the table as Bruce Wayne. Richard E. Grant got put on the table as Alfred. Vanessa Hudgens got put on the table as Selena Kyle. Jason Clarke, Australian actor, was put on the table as Thomas Wayne. Kerry Russell as Martha Wayne. Josh Gad as Penguin, which kind of seems as though he's hinting towards now. Toby Kebbell had been put on the table as Jonathan Crane's Scarecrow, and an actor named Theo Rossi had been put on the table as Bane. So as far as that's not anything that's been confirmed or anything like that, that's just stuff that I've heard. But like I said, this is information that I had access to back in January that all these months later seems to have come true. So I just thought I might as well put it out there. I don't like to keep secrets. It's not necessarily a confirmation of casting. It just means that that's information that, you know, I have been able to like hear about and pass on to you guys, and we see whether it comes true. So that's the secret that I've been holding on to, that I wanted to tell people about for a little while. I just wanted to see whether there was any truth in the fact and see whether Pattinson was something that played out. And I'm really super, super, super excited about this. This is awesome casting. It's fucking great. I don't care what anyone says, but I obviously am interested in what you want to talk about.
Well,
what you've got to say with it.
I think you and I noticed years ago when we had seen Rover.
Yeah.
How
David Michaud, Australian filmmaker. You should check out The Rover. Really good movie. Guy Pearce.
yeah, just how versatile
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson is.
Yeah.
He isn't just the guy from
The
Twilight
Twilight,
that a lot of people see him as.
Yeah.
He is a very, very good actor.
Even before that, though, like this is what. Sorry to butt in, but like what confuses me is that this is a kid who showed up as Cedric Diggory in a Harry Potter movie before he was in Twilight, and showed that he could be easily charismatic and like could play like two different sides, like depending on how you watch that movie. Like sometimes he's a bit of a dick to Harry, sometimes he's okay to Harry, and I'm not saying that that's a role that he was sort of able to really stretch his legs in or anything. Because he sort of like rocks up and then he dies. Spoiler for like a super old movie, but like even then, like people were like, oh shit, like this kid like sort of has something, which has obviously led to Twilight. But yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, like all I was saying is that he does have great acting chops, and I think it's going to be really cool to see a younger Batman as well. Well, the youngest we've ever had for a live-action Batman.
Yeah.
So that's cool, which sort of reminds me of the animated series they had early 2000s, The Batman.
Oh yeah,
That was like, I really enjoyed that as a kid.
It had the really like different animated style.
Yeah, it was really over the top with like the Joker.
It's the one where he had sharp fingers.
Yeah.
That was really cool, actually.
So I mean, if they're going at like younger Batman in that sense, I'm happy with that, and he can do it. I think.
Well, like look at the explosion of fan art. Like obviously, like people will know we're quite close to Code, Boss Logic. Happy birthday for yesterday, Boss Logic. But basically, I had been having conversations with him. We talk all the time. We're friends from way back. So, and I just said, look, dude, this is information that I've heard. It seems pretty legit, and it seems as though this is someone that they're angling towards, in a big way. And he just sort of was like, oh, look, it's maybe not a choice that I would make. And I was kind of like, well, me neither. But like now that I think about it, I'm kind of going, oh shit, like he's a really good actor. Yeah. And he's never done, apart from Twilight, he hasn't done any of these like big franchises before. Like if he's interested, this is someone who like by next year will have worked with, some of the best directors in the world. He's got a Christopher Nolan movie that they're about to shoot next year as well. Like, the movie that he's in at the moment, which is like he's like worked in a lighthouse or something that just premiered at Cannes in France. He's getting like rave reviews, and they're saying like Pattinson is like a legit Oscar contender this year. All of a sudden, like,
and now they've cast him as
now
Batman.
It's fucking Batman.
It's gonna be. It could potentially be Academy Award winning Robert Pattinson as Batman, which would be pretty incredible.
Yeah. So like out of the list there, so like Richard E. Grant was nominated for an Academy Award this year, didn't win. It was, I think his movie was called How Can You Ever Forgive Me, or Can You Ever Forgive Me? He's in Star Wars next year, so he's sort of like a rising star. He's one of the nicest people on earth, according to his like Twitter account and Instagram videos and stuff. Yeah. Jason Clarke and Kerry Russell, they've both worked with Matt Reeves before. They were in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And obviously Kerry Russell goes way back to like the Felicity days with Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams and stuff. Toby Kebbell was Koba in the Planet of the Apes movie, so he's worked with Matt Reeves before. Vanessa Hudgens, a bit of an out there cast, in my opinion. She's sharing art and stuff online now. It seems to have sort of gotten out there that maybe she's in contention. Again, a lot of people will look at her and it's sort of the Zac Efron thing. They'll go like, oh, like before he was known as like a versatile actor, they're kind of like, oh, that really like the High School Musical chick. She turned around and does something like Spring Breakers all those years ago, and people kind of go, look, these kids that come through Disney and stuff, they've got real acting chops, they've got potential.
They just get hit with this stigma of, oh, they're a Disney star, or they're, same as Robert Pattinson, he's a Twilight guy. They can break through that. They didn't get cast in those for no particular reason. They got cast because they
showed talent.
Yeah, they showed that they've got talent. They showed that they can actually act. They just get put into some stupid roles sometimes. And she can act. Oh, she's been in Give Me Shelter or something a few years ago.
I haven't followed her. This is what I mean. Like I haven't followed her career at all. Really, like I've seen her pop in and out of things, and she did like Grease Live and stuff a few years ago. That kind of thing. And like she's always been someone that I knew of, because obviously like High School Musical was at the height of its popularity, like when I was coming through school and stuff. So like, but I was always kind of like, well, Zac Efron was the big breakout star of that series. Yeah. But this is maybe her chance, man. Like this is like Selena Kyle is like, if they're going to use her the way I believe that Matt Reeves would use her, it's like Selena Kyle is potentially like another one of those characters that, you know, maybe down the line we're talking spin-offs. Maybe she becomes part of Birds of Prey. Like,
yeah, definitely.
This kind of explains to me why they didn't use Selena Kyle, Catwoman, in the Birds of Prey movie with Margot Robbie and stuff, because she's a holdover for something like this. So maybe she's a mainstay in this. The only other information that we kind of know is that Matt Reeves is doing it's a psychological sort of murder mystery, very point of view, Hitchcockian, he's kind of saying. Yeah. So like the camera doesn't cut away from the main character. So like if it's with Batman, it's with Batman in the first scene to the last scene of the movie. So the only other information that I had was that the basic plot may, and again this is just rumour, stuff that I've come across in my travels, and conversations that I've had, that it may have something to do with, there's a big figurehead in Gotham that's murdered, and it's basically like a big whodunit, which is an explanation for why Matt Reeves is looking to put so many villains in. Batman is still sort of in his infancy of a relationship with James Gordon and stuff like that. Trying to work with Gotham City Police Department, doesn't really want to step on too many toes, but this is the beginning of like the legacy and what he will become. He's a couple of years into being Batman now, and he's basically like he's coming across all these different villains, and it's kind of like trying to put it together, what happened, who's actually involved, and stuff like that. So like, which all fits into the rumours of the detective-based stuff. Like, it's world's greatest detective comic. It's not, you know, Affleck's Batman, which I love. But it's just a different take. It's more in line with like the original Batman detective base. So
I'm down for that. It'd be really good to see a completely different take on the character. In movie form anyway. You know, we've seen a lot of the, you know, heavy hitting action
for sure.
Batman. I mean, every Batman that we've had has been completely different, really. But
which is awesome, like versatility of the character.
So I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good to see, as you said, world's greatest detective. I'm down for that.
So Josh Gad Penguin, I'm sold. Dude's a great actor. Really can play into the theatrics of that character. He's predominantly a theatre-based actor before he transitioned into feature film. That's kind of how he became like known. He was in the Book of Mormon and stuff. He in an interview recently, actually, he talked about like that if he had to choose between theatre and film, like that theatre was like his home. That's really cool to me, that he can play into the theatrics of that. He has the ability to play into theatrics of that. Theo Rossi I haven't seen in very much. I didn't watch very much of Luke Cage. Apparently he was a character called Shades in that, and Sons of Anarchy he was a part of as well, which again is something else that I haven't watched. But I'd had a couple of conversations with a few people, and they seemed really happy with this casting as well, or potential casting I should say, and he would obviously be playing Bane. So like that's kind of all I've known. That's sort of the information that I come across, and I felt like we should put that out into the Twitter sphere and the Instagram world and social media and whatever for people to discuss, because some of these I think are amazing. Like obviously I doubt Jason Clarke or Kerry Russell play big parts in this. The Waynes usually aren't heavily involved in Batman stories.
No, not really. Unless they do a completely different take, and
maybe.
I mean, who knows?
Maybe. Who knows? We should move on. We'll move on so that we don't bore people with all the Batman talk, because I'm sure that there's going to be so much more to talk about it. But super big thumbs up from me. I'm super impressed that they're able to land something like this. I'm really, really, really confident in the script now. I'm really confident in Warner Brothers' direction. I hadn't been previously, obviously, with all the Justice League bullshit that happened. But like this, I'm super, super, super psyched for this. Super cool. So John Wick 4, there's not really that much to talk about. John Wick 3 is literally just launched, I think, this weekend. It's already overperforming to their expectations. It well and truly knocked Avengers out of the top spot domestically, and I think internationally. Excuse me. And so they basically, I think they probably just had this like sitting in the wings, waiting, ready to go. Bang, announced John Wick 4, and it's dated. So 2021, Keanu Reeves back, John Wick. It seems as though everyone loves these movies. We haven't even had a chance to see it yet. We've got a media screening of Aladdin tonight that we'll go to straight after this. And I guess we'll try and find some time to go and see John Wick in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But like, is that something, like, have you seen any of those movies yet?
I haven't actually, but I've only ever heard good things, and I think it's definitely time to jump on that hype train.
Chapter 3 is the best reviewed one so far.
It's insane, and I think they're all over like
90. They're all like over 90 on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that.
This is fantastic for now a complete, a full trilogy of movies to all be over 90 on Rotten Tomatoes is insane. So, yeah.
So moving on from John Wick, we pretty much had PlayStation, who, like, obviously everyone knows PlayStation these days is part of Sony, pretty much just out of the blue turning around today and announcing, like, hey, we're starting PlayStation productions, and we're utilising Sony's, like, internal marketing, Sony's internal distribution, Sony's internal filmmaking department. They've got 2 guys that are veterans of working, like, within Sony Pictures International and Sony Sony Interactive, whatever it's called, and they're heading it, and it's basically specifically designed to adapt video game media into film and TV for worldwide distribution.
It's fantastic.
And it's like, I was just like, how the fuck do you just, like, how did no one know that was coming up? Like, there's, like, gaming insiders is bigger than movie and TV insiders because they're all buddy.
Yeah.
But, like, that no one had any, like, it's just fucking amazing. I don't know how no one thought about it before. Like,
it's such a good way to do it because already working on games, they've got so many story writers, everything, and it's all going to be so true to the original content.
The way that it's, for people who don't know, the way that it works, so with, say, something like an Assassin's Creed or like Detective Pikachu or Sonic and stuff like that, it's companies selling the IP to a production company. So a production company maybe comes to Sony and says, like, hey, we really want to make a Metal Gear Solid movie, like they're trying to do with Jordan Vogt Roberts, who, like, did Kong and stuff like that. And they sort of work out, well, like, what sort of deal is it going to be? Like, if we sell this for this amount of money, what percentage are we going to get back? And all that sort of nonsense. And then they're selling that off to a production company to go away and create it and distribute it and whatever.
Yeah.
This is all internal. So there's no like external forces that are making decisions, wrong decisions, bad decisions, good decisions, whatever.
Yeah.
They pick and choose who they want involved. So there's real potential here for some of the, like, premier storytellers in gaming, so like your Amy Hennigs and your Neil Druckmanns and your Corey Barlogs and stuff like that are doing, like, the Uncharted's and the Last of Us and the God of Wars and stuff like that, to literally sort of transition into, like, high-end, top-end movie and TV media like that.
Yeah.
That just, it's unbelievable.
It would be amazing to see, like, say the new God of War comes out in whatever year it comes out, and alongside that comes a full, like, hour-long movie or a full TV series that releases, like, day and date, and it's like a companion story to the game that you're playing, and, like, it's like, imagine, like, getting to a certain chapter and it's like, watch this episode, and it's like,
dude, sick.
It'll be fantastic.
and pretty much the only thing they've talked about is like, openly anyway, is they said, like, they've taken note of what Kevin Feige did with Marvel Studios, in that, like, taking control of their IPs and doing the stories that they want their way, not selling them off and then having to watch, like, Sony butcher Amazing Spider-Man or Fox butcher like Fantastic Four a couple of times and stuff like that. It's literally, like, full creative control.
Yeah.
And I'm almost excited about this as I am as the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool.
It's really the perfect way to now have video game movies and TV shows, and I think this is going to break that curse. I mean, which I think Detective Pikachu's already really broken that curse.
I wonder then if it was something that they were always maybe if or budding on, and Detective Pikachu has come out and, like, internationally it's done really well already. Like, it made its money back, and everything else now is just, like, gravy. It knocked Avengers off last weekend. Like, I wonder if they were waiting. Like, I know obviously it's got nothing to do with it, but, like, if they were just waiting to see whether, like, a pretty good movie will do pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's got a bit to do with that, but it also has a little bit to do with the the Kratos movie, the documentary that they did a couple weeks ago. And I think that Raising Kratos, that's it. Which would have all been internal in-house production.
Yeah.
And I think they've probably seen how well that's done on YouTube and been like, well, holy crap, there's a good market for this. And I'm sure it's been something on the books for years, but seeing how good Detective Pikachu's done, seeing how well Raising Kratos has done, it's like the perfect time for them to start creating their own movies and TV shows in-house, and it's freaking exciting.
So talking about, so obviously we're talking now about something that's done all internally, which obviously is a super great thing. Doesn't necessarily mean that selling the IPs off won't work. Yeah. So I want to transition into, basically what's happened is there's been a long gestating Mortal Kombat movie from producer James Wan that sort of was announced in like 2014 or 2015. The last big update was 2016, and it was partnered, like, it was an IP that was sold off by NetherRealm to Warner Brothers. Yeah. And Warner Brothers Entertainment owns NetherRealm Studios anyway. Yeah. But we finally got confirmation, I think it was last week. James Wan, the Australian director, whose name is Simon McCoy, I think, who's been attached to it pretty much from the start, who's just like this is his debut feature film, but he's very well known, like, in the industry for doing commercials for Halo and like big game franchises. Yeah, they start pre-production this month. This month in Australia, in Adelaide, they start pre-production, and it was just like completely out of the blue. It was like, here's our announcement, here's our official statement, here's like a quick little photo of like the guys together, like announcing it and like whatever.
Do we even know a cast yet?
Nothing at all. and like they're like, by the way, we're starting in a month. It comes out on March 5th, 2021, which is the same day as He-Man. Yeah. The Noah, what's his name? Centineo.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know the kid from
To All the Boys.
All the Boys I Loved before.
Yeah, I think that's him, right?
Sure. Yeah. Noah.
Netflix.
Apparently he's He-Man somehow. Cool. Comes out the same day as that. He-Man's going to get fucking destroyed because Mortal Kombat is huge, man. Yeah. Like, Mortal Kombat is huge. This is crazy. This is, again, super cool. I'm not as excited about this as I am about PlayStation and the Batman stuff, but like, this is super cool. Like, we're going to have so many friends that get to work on this movie. Yeah. It's not even funny. James Wan, I love the horror element of stuff that he's done in the past, and like, we've seen him handle like really big budget stuff now, obviously with Aquaman, and that made total bank. Like, whether you love it or don't love it, fuck, that movie made some money. Yeah. Like, for something that's based on Aquaman, Aquaman made $1 billion. Imagine what he's going to do with Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Anyway, that's super cool. I don't want to talk about the Noah Centineo He-Man stuff. I'm not excited for that at all.
I know my parents will be.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, there's the last two things. So obviously we've got Rick and Morty season 4. Yeah. There's not that much to talk about. We just finally got a date, which was November, which you thought might be because in the past they'd done Thanksgiving special or something.
Just going by the date, it's looking likely for them to do.
Yours, like, of Justin Roiland, is that how you say it?
Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon mostly?
Mostly, yeah. Rick and shows.
That's fair enough. And so apart from that, that's sort of all there really was to talk about that. But the other stuff was the couple of characters coming back to the MCU. Not really. I don't think it's spoiler territory to talk about Bucky and Winter Soldier. Like, I don't think anyone thought that they were going to die in Endgame, those characters in particular. Falcon, I mean. Yeah, that's right. Bucky is Winter Soldier. Jesus. But they've confirmed. So, Baron Zemo, Daniel Brühl, and Sharon Carter, who I'm totally blanking on the actress's name, are back for that movie, for that show on Disney Plus, which is, I think they said it was 6 parts. Like, just interesting to me that they would bring something like that were like, I mean, Zemo I can kind of understand because parts of what he did played into, you know, Winter Soldier in particular. Yeah. But it's just interesting to me that they bring Sharon Carter back in and sort of
Yeah, it's weird.
We can't really talk about it much because it's hard. Like, I know that Endgame spoilers has lifted, but there's no doubt there's people who watch these that haven't seen Endgame.
It's very strange. Like, they're releasing a lot of little bits of information for a lot of these MCU Disney Plus shows, and I just don't know where they're going with them at all. Like, they're...
Well, I saw, this is kind of on topic, but obviously they've absolved a heap of Fox properties for Disney Plus, and like it seems as though they're developing heaps of Fox and Disney properties to be like extended onto Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So McGee, who we talked about the other day when we did our Rim of the World trailer reaction.
Yeah.
McGee, the guy who directed that, who's world famous McGee, who did Terminator Salvation. He was like in an interview the other day, and they're like, "What have you got coming up? Like after Rim of the World and stuff?" And he was like, "Oh, funny that I'm doing fucking True Lies for Disney Plus, like James Cameron, like readapting True Lies for TV, like a series, not a movie, not a new movie." Which is like, that's one of my favorite James Cameron's movies. Just randomly, like it's sorry to go off topic, but there's just all these random like Disney Plus things that are all announced, and like they're obviously like, I'm super excited for that now too.
There's a lot coming, week. And it is exciting 100%. But there's so many weird projects where we just have minimal information.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that, but it'd be cool to have a bit more to sort of know where it's going, I guess.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got gaming stuff coming up. In the next couple of weeks, we've got a big E3 episode. Geordie's going on holiday. I've got to go to another state for a while. And the sponsor for the show has to use some of the equipment for a little while as well. So might be a week and a half before we get another episode out. As well. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you're following us on Instagram and Twitter and the Facebook page and all that sort of stuff. Click the bell or something on YouTube so that you're getting notifications. The YouTube algorithm apparently doesn't really show up properly for some people. But that's pretty much it. Batman.
That's it at this stage.
So excited, bro. But yeah, check out some of the other videos that we've got. They should be popping up on the screen here now. But thanks for coming and checking us out. Like I said, make sure you follow us on the Insta. Comment below if you're happy about Pattinson, if you're not happy about Pattinson. On any of that other cast that's rumoured now that I've been able to sort of put it out there. And yeah, we'll talk to you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for watching.